On Friday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau joined a short list of foreign dignitaries to ever address the Mexican Senate. He used the historic opportunity to mention gender equality and indigenous rights. His speech took place as the fourth and thus far most contentious round of NAFTA renegotiations continued in the United States. Trudeau's message was aimed at three nations: Canada, Mexico, and the U.S.
Our economies are closely integrated. We stand together on the world stage, and we have a shared vision of progress. Indeed, if you were not our neighbor, you would still be our partner and friend. And that, I think, means more than geography ever could.
Trudeau received applause from Canadian and Mexican officials alike, including Mexico's economy minister and top NAFTA negotiator, Ildefonso Guajardo, who was here instead of leading the Mexican team at the current round of talks near Washington, D.C. U.S. NAFTA negotiators there are taking an increasingly hardline stance, insisting that 50% of all North American vehicles, including those assembled in Canada and Mexico, be made in the USA. The U.S. also wants a so-called sunset provision requiring a full review of NAFTA every 5 years. Both Canada and Mexico oppose that. Many Mexicans consider Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's first official visit to their nation as a sort of rescue mission for the North American Free Trade Agreement. At a news conference on Thursday, the auditorium was filled with symbols of bilateral unity. Among those present, yellow-helmeted Mexican firefighters who fought wildfires in Canada. Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto said NAFTA renegotiations afford opportunities to make all three North American nations more competitive and improve salaries in Mexico.
Mexico does not want to be competitive by having low salaries. Mexico wants to be competitive by having a well-trained labor force, for being productive, and for having the capacity to compete with other nations, for the reason of including supply chains allowed by this free trade agreement.
Publicly, both leaders emphasize that their bilateral relationship is safe, no matter what becomes of NAFTA. Privately, both Canada and Mexico are creating backup plans just in case the U.S. decides to end this trade agreement. Frank Contreras, CGTN, Mexico City.